"What a nasty fellow," gasped Milo, who was having great difficulty just getting his legs to move. "I hope I never meet him again." "I believe he's stopped tasing us," said the bug, looking back over his shoulder. "It's not what's behind that worries me," remarked Tock as they stepped from the sticky mess, "but what's ahead." "Keep going straight," counseled the voice, as they continued to pick their way carefully along the new path. "Now step up, it recommended, and almost before they knew what had happened, they had all taken a step up and then plunged to the bottom of a deep, murky pit. "But he said up," Milo complained bitterly from where he lay sprawling. "Well, I hope you didn't expect to get anywhere by listening to me," said the voice gleefully. "We'll never get out of here," the humbug moaned, looking at the steep, smooth sides of the pit. "That's quite an accurate evaluation of the situation," said the voice coldly. "Then why did you help us at all?" shouted Milo angrily. "Oh, I'd do as much for anybody," he replied. Bad advice is my specialty, for as you can plainly see, I'm the long-nosed, green-eyed, curly-haired, wide-mouthed, thick-necked, broad-shouldered, round-bodied, short-armed, bow-legged, big-footed monster, and if I do say so myself, one of the most frightened fiends in this whole wild wilderness. With me here, you wouldn't dare try to escape." And with that, he shuffled to the edge of the pit and leered down at his helpless prisoners. Tock and Humbug turned away in fright, but Milo, who had learned by now that people aren't always what they say they are, reached for his telescope and took a long look for himself. And there, at the rim of the hole, instead of what he expected, stood a small, furry creature with very worried eyes and a rather sheepish grin. "Why, you're not long-nosed, green-eyed, curly-haired, white-mouthed, thick-necked, broad-shouldered, round-bodied, short-armed, bow-legged, or big-footed. And you're not at all frightening," said Milo indignantly. "What kind of a demon are you?" The little creature, who seemed stunned at being found out, leaped back out of sight and began to whimper softly. I'm the demon of insincerity," he sobbed. "I don't mean what I say, I don't mean what I do, and I don't mean what I am. Most people who believe what I tell them go the wrong way and stay there. But you and your awful telescope have spoiled everything. I'm going home." And crying hysterically, he stamped off in a huff. It certainly pays to have a good look at things," observed Milo, as he wrapped up the telescope with great care. "Now all we have to do is climb out," said Tock, placing his front paws as high on the wall as he could. "Here, hop up on my back." Milo climbed onto the dog's shoulders, and then the bug crawled up both of them, and by standing on Milo's head, just managed to hook his cane on the roots of an old gnarled tree. With loud complaints, he hung on doggedly until the other two had climbed out over him and pulled him up, somewhat dazed and discouraged. "I'll lead the way for a while," he said, brushing himself off. "Follow me and we'll stay out of trouble." He guided them along one of 5 narrow ledges, all of which led to a grooved and rutted plateau. They stopped for a moment to rest and make plans, but before they had done either, the whole mountain trembled violently, and with a sudden lurch, rose high into the air, carrying them along with it, for quite accidentally they had stepped into the calloused hand of a gelatinous giant. "And what have we here?" he roared, looking curiously at the tiny figures huddled in his palm and licking his lips. He was an incredible size, even sitting down, with long unkempt hair, bulging eyes, and a shape hardly worth speaking of. He looked, in fact, very much like a colossal bowl of jelly without the bowl. "How dare you disturb my nap?" he bellowed furiously, and the force of his hot breath tumbled them over in his hand. "We're terribly sorry," said Milo meekly, when he had untangled himself, "but you looked just like part of the mountain." "Naturally," the giant replied in a more normal voice, but even this was like an explosion. "I have no shape of my own, so I try to be just like whatever I'm near. In the mountains, I'm a lofty peak on the beach, a broad sandbar in the forest, a towering oak. Sometimes in the city, I'm a very handsome 12-story apartment house. I just hate to be conspicuous. It's really not safe, you know. Then he looked at them again with hungry eyes and wondered how well they'd taste. "You look